Hey y'all, comedian Rob Kazi is here with us this morning to talk about his upcoming show at the Joy Theater, where he'll be reflecting on his journey from the streets of New Orleans to the national comedy stage. And we were just kind of chit-chatting in the commercial break. You've been all over the country. Your tour is taking you to Chicago, Dallas. What's that been like?
It's been good. It's been good. Just kind of experiencing those different cultures, those different places, you know, seeing the differences and the similarities of, you know, of our different states and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure it gives you a lot of fodder for your comedy.
Yeah. A lot of, you know, we relate to a lot of different places in certain ways. You know, it's interesting.
Well, that's why I was asking you. You know, you said a lot of the jokes, a lot of your routine comes from your time growing up in New Orleans.
Yeah.
But here you are going all over the country, and while New Orleans is a culture that a lot of people know, I'm curious if some of your New Orleans jokes play well elsewhere.
Yeah. So I mean, what I would do with certain jokes, like let's say I'm talking about a rough part of New Orleans.
Sure.
I would kind of do some homework and be like, what's a rough street or neighborhood in this particular place? I would ask like locals. I might even Google it. Then when I get on stage, I would say, hey man, I was around such and such, and I would name the street, and immediately I'm making them familiar with my situation, because it's like, okay, this may be East New Orleans, but now I'm talking about, what was it, Lower Whack in Chicago.
Okay.
Lower Whack.
And so locals there know that the
they
same
know
way
Lower
we would know
Whack
certain
has a
parts
lot of homelessness, a lot of, you know, different stuff like that. So that's how I kind of relate those two places.
Wow, and that's where you're doing your homework and figuring out kind of the similarities and the differences between our different places. What would you say is a difference that New Orleans has from other places? What makes us special?
It's just a certain swagger. It's just a certain, for real, the dialogue we talk with, just the way we move, the way we walk, the way. It's just a different, it's just a flavor. It just, you could feel it. Like when I'm out of town, I had these three girls at one of my shows in Detroit, and they walked up in the media. I'm like, where y'all from? They're like, we from New Orleans. I'm like, I felt it. I just felt it.
I think it's an approachability. It's like we're comfortable approaching people, and we're fine with people approaching us.
Super.
I found that when I've traveled too. It's, yeah, I think it's like we're very approachable, and you can tell when it's another New Orleanian walking up to you. So what can people expect with your homecoming tour? Is it going to be all new material, some jokes that we've come to love on social media?
Some new stuff. I don't want to talk about it here, but I got some new stuff.
Not revealing anything.
Yeah. So we'll be at the Joy Theater November 30th, shooting my first special. And the moment is special itself, because I've learned that I am the first Black New Orleans native to headline a venue, to actually book that venue and say, hey, I'm about to bet on myself and try to fill this sucker out.
Wow. So, well, y'all heard that. We got to help him fill it out.
Yeah, so history will be made. History will be made.
At the Joy Theater,
this is also one of my biggest shows. Well, it is my biggest show, the biggest show I put together in New Orleans.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's really exciting. What is it like? You know what? Let me go back. When did you get into comedy? How old were you think?
2015.
Okay.
2015.
I'm sure you were telling jokes before then, but kind of formally getting into comedy was 2015.
Yeah. Naturally, just doing class clown stuff, but like 2015 was the first time I stood on stage with a microphone in my hand, like, all right, let me see.
And when did everything kind of blow up for you?
2018, July. I don't know the exact date, but July 2018. I did this character a lot of people familiar with, Tommy, you know, with the big clothes and the bandana, and man, that sucker took off. I woke up the next morning and I'm looking at my followers. I'm like, what the, man, I'm at 200,000, like close to 200,000.
Wow.
So
and now you're over 1 million.
Yeah.
Over 1 million followers. Your New Orleanian family is going to turn out for you and help you fill that Joy Theater. History will be made. Remind me the dates and where folks can go to get tickets. November
30th. The tickets, Ticketmaster, but it's in the bio of all my pages. Facebook, Rob Kazi. Instagram, ROB_Kazi. And TikTok, same thing, Rob_Kazi.
All right, that's where you find them. That's where you can find those tickets. Rob, thanks so much for joining the show again. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, well, y'all, don't go away.